Well, we're very excited as we begin all of our Nexus plenaries with an artistic invocation. And we're very excited to welcome Caitlin Crosby to the stage. Please welcome Caitlin Crosby.
This is the best job that I've ever had. And the fact that I engrave inspirational words for people, I'm actually engraving a key that somebody's wearing.
The Giving Keys resonates with people because we employ people that are trying to transition out of homelessness. I was walking on Hollywood Boulevard and I saw a young homeless couple. I said to the girl, "I like your necklace," and she said, "Oh, thanks, I like making jewelry." So the next day I went to the locksmith and I bought engraving equipment and started paying this couple to engrave the keys with different inspiring words. Little by little, they started saving up enough money to get their own apartment. Now we have over 35 employees and it's creating second chances for people. It's a whole pay it forward concept. So if you have a key that says strength on it, you're supposed to own your word and then you have to pass it on to somebody you feel needs the message on the key more than you, and then tell them they have to pass it on to somebody that needs it more than them.
The main word that I will put on my key is faith. I have faith now in my ability to be able to be positive, to be productive.
Strong. If there's going to be a struggle, I will have to still be strong.
This is what it's all about. Regardless of our stories, we all need words of hope. And that's what makes us all a family.
Hi guys, it's such an honor to be here. This is such a beautiful, important place. It feels so right being here right now with everything that's going on in the world. So it's such an honor to be with you all. So this is my mom, this is my dad. I am born and raised in Los Angeles. My dad manages actors and was a manager to Mick Jagger and a million, people like that. And my mom was a model and an actress. She was on Chips, so she got to make out with Eric Estrada. So a lot of my friends' moms very jealous of her. Anyway, so my mom auditioned for my dad, and I was born on the casting couch, as they say. Yes, I grew up really passionate about everything that I saw behind the scenes. I grew up working for my dad and answering phones and reading scripts and this and that. And so, just like most people that grew up in LA, you kind of grow up acting because that's just what everybody does. So I did this horrible movie with the Brie Larson, who won the Academy Award last year for Best Actress. This Danny DeVito movie. I was the brunette in the picture, and but they cut out our faces, both of our faces, and glued them on other people's bodies. And we were like, "Thanks for that. Thanks. You couldn't even airbrush us. You couldn't even kind of work with what we had to airbrush us. Nope." Just cut off their bodies 100% and just glue other. We didn't even wear those outfits ever. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so we started a website at the time called Love Your Flaws, all about kind of, letting girls in, women in the world into what's happening behind the scenes, all the images that you're seeing, on billboards and magazines all day long, brainwashing everyone that those don't exist because we don't look like that either. And so I was obsessed with this whole Love Your Flaws world this was over 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. And so I was doing music and I was touring, and I had an album called Flaws, and everything on my merchandise table said, "Love your flaws, love your flaws, love your flaws." I had keychains, bags, t-shirts, everything. It was a way to kind of give myself therapy, and from growing up in Los Angeles. Also went around the world and took thousands of pictures of people holding up signs that said things like, "My chemo-fried hair is beautiful," "My cankles are hot," "Cellulite is the new black," "My scar saved my life," etc. And I got really obsessed with this whole subject. So I was at Locksmith one day in New York, passing through on tour, and the hotel key, I thought it was really interesting and cool. It was like this really big hotel key. It's not like the credit cards that they usually are these days. And so I put it around my necklace, and I was at a locksmith, and the person in front of me got numbers engraved for their apartment complex. And I said, "Oh, do you have letters? By any chance, can you engrave 'Love Your Flaws' on this key?" And And he was like, okay, the locksmith. And then I saw all these old used keys on the side, and I said, oh, while you're at it, can you engrave fearless, hope, peace, let go, believe, breathe, on these keys. So I gave them as birthday presents to friends, and then I started selling them on tour, on my music tours, along with all the merchandise. And as you can see, I'm a very professional jewelry maker. I used my tweezers for hair and my cuticle clippers, and that's a airplane tray. So with my coffee, literally that's how I started making them. This was not me trying to be a social entrepreneur. I didn't even know what that meant at the time. This was just, these are words that we all need. I need these words. I need the words on the keys. Maybe other people need the words on these keys too. So I started selling them on tour, and yes, they started selling out more than my CDs. And I was like, okay, well, thanks. Thanks for coming to my show, buying all these freaking key necklaces. But I knew that these words were really resonating with people. So little by little, organically, authentically, just came up with this concept of, okay, get a word that you feel like you need in your life. Embrace the word, but let's not have it stop there. I want you to keep your eyes open to people that are hurting and other people that you feel need the word on the key more than you. So let's start a pay it forward concept. So people started writing into MySpace at the time, my MySpace page, and they're like, I did what you said. I just gave my key away to somebody who was about to commit suicide. I just gave my key to my mom who had cancer. I just gave my key to so-and-so who, was being bullied, or so-and-so just lost their job or had an eating disorder, or whatever. And so I was bawling my eyes out all the time reading these stories of these keys being passed all over the world, literally. And so I knew that there was something there, so I thought I should start a website so other people could read the stories, not just my mom and I crying all the time. And so had the website, but I knew there was a missing link. I knew I wanted the money to go to some sort of charity or nonprofit, but I didn't know what, and I waited for the missing link for maybe a year or two. And I could have settled. I had a ton of friends that had started nonprofits that I easily could have said, 10% proceeds go to invisible children, or 10% proceeds go to Saving Innocence. My best friend started Saving Innocence, which is about human trafficking, but it was just this pit in my stomach, like, no, there's more, don't settle, there's more, just wait for it. So I waited. One day I was walking on Hollywood Boulevard, not thinking about the Giving Keys at all, and I saw a young homeless couple, and they were holding up a sign. Well, this is the slide for showing the keys being passed around the world. But so this young homeless couple here, Rob and Sarah, and they were holding up this sign. I took this picture that day, about 8 years ago. Ugly, broke, and hungry. And it caught my eye because it looked like a Love Your Flaws sign, the way that they wrote it. And I wasn't thinking about the Giving Keys at all. And it was raining, and they were living in a dumpster in a cardboard box. And I canceled my plans that night. I was like, do you guys want to go to dinner? Are you hungry? And so let's go to dinner. And so we go to dinner, got their life story. They were raised homeless on the street. They were raised under a bridge in San Diego. And their parents still live under this bridge in San Diego. And I just fell in love with them. There was really no motive of like, this is, I want to be a social entrepreneur, so I want to do this case study. It had nothing to do with that. It was just like, oh, these people are soaking wet and living in a dumpster, and they're probably hungry. I'm going to cancel my plans. Let's have human connection and just talk and learn each other's stories and be there for each other and encourage each other. And so 2 hours into it, the girl said she liked making jewelry, and I had my aha moment. And I said, oh, you're the missing link to the Giving Keys. Do you guys want to be my business partners? And they were like, okay, who is this crazy lady? So the next day, went to Pep Boys, bought hammers, went to the locksmith, bought engraving equipment, started paying them to engrave the keys, and that helped us. Now we've been able to do partnerships with Nordstrom and Starbucks and 1,500 stores around the world. And my favorite part is, okay, I'm going to read this really fast, just the sake of time. Today, the Giving Keys has provided over 80 job opportunities and more than that many hours of work for people transitioning out of homelessness. You can see this number grow on a daily basis on our website. Yeah. So it's possible to have a scalable business that wasn't based on profit and revenue and that being the goal. The goal was humans and our souls and all of us needing healing and all of us needing each other. And it wasn't about, oh, let's help the homeless. It's like we all need each other. We're all a family. We all have issues. There are many times where I go into the office and, I'm having a hard time, and a lot of our homeless employees are hugging me, and they're the best hugs that money could not buy, the love that we all get from each other. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person. That is one of my favorite quotes of all time, because it's not about, I think, this day and age, people are trying to start, trying to be a social entrepreneur. And I think that's great, but I think it really needs to start with you caring about an issue first, get passionate about an injustice that you see in your community and the world first, and care about that more than anything first, and do what you can do. You can start now. You don't have to wait until you have an organization. Do it now. Okay, I'm gonna sing a song right now. So this is about whatever it is that you guys are doing in your life, thinking about what you want to pass on into the world, whether it be your nonprofit, your business, if you're a teacher, a lawyer, a politician, a businessman. Just think about what you want to pass on into the world. So during the chorus, I want you guys to sing with me on and on and on and on and on, and think about what you're paying it forward. I've been reading through these stories of broken locks and doors we never thought would open up again. And I've been scrolling through the pages and picturing your faces. We are on our way to being strong, so pass it on. There's a baby barely breathing, and all a mother needs is a reason to get through another day. Someone's fighting to stay sober when a stranger out of nowhere gives him a little hope when his was gone, so pass it on. Everybody. So I'm keeping my eyes open with every word unspoken, memories I just can't see beyond. No matter how you hurt now, every fire burns out. Even in the darkness there's a dawn, so pass it on. So I've been reading through your stories of failures and glories. You find you had it in you all along. Thank you guys so much. I am Caitlin Crosby, and we are NEXUS.